that break has occurred, a retest and a push continuations to our phase zone, which is at 94k. All right, we are looking at massive bearishness on Bitcoin, guys. All right, now I know the crypto guys may not like this, but we are looking at price going back to 94k. Then apparently we could be tanking all the way to the downsides of our 90k to 89k. All right, so for now we are still very much bearish on BTC. Welcome back to our weekly market forecast. It's your boy at my FX, the prophetic analyst. So this is a weekly market forecast of the week of the 10th to the 14th, basically the second week of February. All right, so without further ado, let's dive into the business of the day. So moving forward, we can see BTC, just like you saw on the preview, that this was the same trade that we took on BTC. Price was somewhere around these zones. We're looking for that break, that retest. You can also see that black arrow there, in which we are pointing all the way to the downside, and price was very much bearish all the way to as low as 91k, just as we predicted. And even after going all the way down, I wasn't, if you were like a lower time frame kind of trader, you will be able to make entry setups from the lower time frames, like the 15 minutes and all. You would have caught this bearishness from the first side and also caught the second bearishness. So for me, I wasn't on my chart, I wasn't able to get this first bearishness, but definitely I did not miss this second one. Okay, so this is a personal trade I actually took, because BTC is a very high risk kind of trade and most people may be using a small account and all. So I traded it myself, but just like we predicted last week, we wanted that break, that retest. So we had a higher time frame break and retest, which is what later happened here at the time, and price was all the way super bearish. And like you guys know, we have been predicting the bearishness of BTC all the way to the downsides. Okay, so price dropped from 102k all the way to as low as 91k, which we also predicted. So what are we going to look out for the coming weeks? Okay, so it's good that we go to our higher time frames to see how price closed on the weekly time frame. Looking at here on the weekly time frame, you can see price has been ranging between this box. Okay, so price closed with more like this doji kind of candle, which if you're good with chart patterns, you know what that means. And price also has been, basically, if you go back to our 4-hour time frame, you see price too has been, we have a trend line coming all the way from the upside there. Price has been bouncing off this trend line for several times. Okay, so basically we are looking forward for price to clear that trend line. All right, price to clear this trend line for us all the way to the downside. So though that clear of the trend line has happened at the time, well, we are looking for a perfect kind of clear of the trend line. But let me take the trend line off right now. So what are our next level targets for this coming weeks? Okay, so I'm going to plot some areas like so from the upside, and we already have this zone from the downside. Looking left, okay, these zones of the between the 95k and 94k, like these zones here, are very strong areas of interest. Looking left, so this is more like the determinant of BTC drops, guys. Okay, the 95k and the 93k or the 94k, if price is able to break out of these zones, guys, then know that BTC is going all the way back to the 90k or 80k levels. Okay, BTC will be going all the way back to the downside. So what we'll be looking forward for, all right, so for the bearishness, we'll be looking for price to break out of the 95, between the 95 and 93k area. It retest back to that zone, then we can go for our phase zones, which is at 91k, or we can go as deep as all the way to our 89k. All right, so we are looking for more drops on BTC, guys. So look out, I'll watch out for this. If price goes bullish, I'm not very interested, but if you are, for a lower time frame, you can take this break and retest here, then you exit when price comes back to this zone. Mind you, BTC is on a very big range on the higher time frame, just like I've shown you guys on the daily or the monthly time frame. You can see how it's looking here on the higher time frame. So these are still our targets. Remember these targets that we had since I think 2 months or a month ago. So we are still looking for BTC drops, but if it continues to the upside, we'll only be interested when it's able to clear this 102k zones. Then we can continue BTC buys. So that's it for BTC buys. Up next is gold. A lot of you might not be able to spot that. So this is what we do with over half a decade of trading experience. Okay, so moving forward, so how can we enter this trade? So now that we have established our neckline from the divergence, we can, or a head and shoulders that we are anticipating, we have to wait for price to clear these levels. Okay, no break of structures, no entries. Okay, so wait for a break of structure, a retest there, then first level you target your trend line. It's very important. Okay, target that trend line right there. Yeah, welcome back. So on gold, you can see how we predicted gold into precision. This was the zone that we were looking for. We saw that chart pattern there, that divergence, and we wanted price to drop all the way to the downside. So you can clearly see why it's important, why I had that trend line there. Like I tell you guys, I really use trend lines, but you see the trend lines came to our rescue on price. So, but definitely if you were trading this, all right, from our weekly market forecast on the lower time frames, you would definitely make money for yourself, because price, like I said, actually respected the daily time, the trend line in which we spoke about. So remember, we had our zones like so. So all what I said we should be looking for is a breakout of that zone. So a break retest, all right, a break and retest, which is what break retest and a drop to the downside. So clearly, which we had that. So if you were trading from like a 15 minutes time frame, which is an entry time frame from most of you or most of us, okay, you might have made a very good 1:2, 1:2.5 even before price would reverse to the upside. So that's basically how why we have all these informations on hand when we are making trade decisions for ourselves. So for the coming weeks, where are our best level targets, or what should we be looking forward for? So I'm going to adjust this like so. All right, I'm going to adjust this like so and extend it. Okay, so I'm going to do it for both sides, for the top sides and the downside. So this is basically a range, guys. So anything price wishes to do between here, I'm not interested, but I will be definitely interested if price is able to break out of here, a retest, and first of all, always remember the trend lines are very important, or we can go as deep as 27.90 ounce. Okay, that's it for the bearishness. And for the bullishness, should be patient enough for price to break out here, retest, and push continuations to a new high to be created. You know, Bitcoin, each high that has been created is creating a new all-time high. So I'm more like giving you guys a two-way scenario, but if you may ask me, I'm really looking for the bearishness. But if price comes back to this area, guys, please do well to exit your trades if you have bearishness to these areas, because looking at the higher time frames, price could come back to that area and continue. Price could come back to that zones, which is at 27.89 ounce, and continue to the upside. So most likely you may have what we would be trading there would be a retracement. Okay, so that's it for gold. And up next is Euro USD. Forward for Euro USD, we are still very much tanking all the way to the downside, but let's go to our daily time frames and our 4-hour time frame. So you can see this is the sales, Euro USD sales, in which we took for last week. Signals were also being sent, okay, which I'm going to drop it or paste it somewhere around in this video. You can see we are already up. We're already up like a very nice 1:1. Okay, they're about there, a very nice 1:1. For me, I'm still holding these trades. A lot of people were also out already on the trades, but I know my trading confirmation, so I'm still very much holding that trade all the way to the downside. Okay, so we are still very much bearish on Euro USD. So you can see how we predicted Euro USD into precision. We were able to smash over 300 pips, right? We have been predicting this 300 pips drop from our last week thumbnail or 2 weeks ago thumbnail video. You can remember that this is still the same thumbnail that we have been using since then. So price gave us that nice bearishness and a splash all the way to our zones. You see why it's very good to have your TPs, your zones, because we trade from zones to zones. Like you guys can see, like I always say, we predict 500 to 1,000 pips into the future, and this is 300 pips drop, okay, which we have still been predicting. This drops all the way from the upsides. Okay, so going to our lower time frames, which is our 4-hour time frames, okay, we can see basically what we were looking for last week was this break and this retest, which you guys can see clearly. The price did not even give us a time for that break and retest. Like I told you guys, I was holding my trades throughout the weekend, so that's also the essence or benefit of swinging trades most times. Okay, so you can see price clearly gave us a very massive bearishness, opened with a gap on price opening on that particular day. Price opened with this massive gap all the way to the downside, guys. So I woke up into massive profits. This is what we call the actual massive profit. Okay, so we had a very nice entry there, a very nice exit too on these zones. All right, then before we were able to go all the way down, so price at least came all the way down here. All right, then we saw some little other chart patterns and trading confirmations that matches with our strategy, so we were able to take that buys again. All right, take the buys all the way to the upside. So between these two areas, we were able to bang over 200 pips down and also take another 200 pips bullishness, so most likely 400 pips plus almost 500 pips drops. All right, so if you have the right strategy, the right trading strategy, or the right mentorship, this is what you'll be able to do. Okay, you can see we have series of wins, 1 2 3 4 series of wins all the way here, and these are things that I show you guys before it even happened. Okay, so which is basically why you guys call me the prophetic analyst. All right, so you see we had 200 pips here, another 100 to 200 pips here. All right, it's very important that we knew that what we are trading is a reversal, so you don't have to be greedy to looking forward for price to go all the way back there. Okay, so we had to exit on our next zone, and then what we had there was a very nice 1:3, and price came here and gave us a little bit of range there before the drop. So basically, what are we looking for on the coming weeks? Okay, let's check our daily time frames. Okay, so let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. So for this week or for the coming week, okay, so not easy busy, no gimmicks here. So we are looking for price to come back to these zones. Okay, a little bit of pullback or price weakening back into that zones, and the push continuations to our first levels. All right, remember your first levels are very important, which is at 1.026. all right, then we can go to our 1.0208. all right, mind you, we are going all bearishness to the downsides on Euro USD. So mark out these levels on your phone, your PC, or whatever device you are using to trade. Up next is GBP USD. This again, a break, a retest back to that zones, and we should be targeting our next zones of our 1.23 all the way to the downside. So we are still very much bearish. Welcome back, guys. So you can see GBP USD, this was the zones. Like I said, we were holding our trades. I've stacked a lot of trade, guys, from all the way up here. So this one I took out 90%. I took out 90%. I was still swinging 10%, and I had 2 fresh trades, stacking 2 fresh entries around somewhere around here, which these are also signals being sent on our free Telegram communities, okay, and our general group. So if you are not on our free Telegram community, please do well to click on the link on the description below to join our free Telegram community. And also, if we are starting our February mentorship tomorrow, which is Monday, so if probably by the time you'll be seeing this video, we might have already started. So but if you're interested, we still have 1 more slot now remaining for our February mentorship. You can also avail yourself for that, so that you can also be able to decipher the market just like we do. So moving forward, we can see for last week here, price actually closed here, and price opened with this massive gap here, which same thing happened on Euro USD, same thing happened on GBP, and a lot of space across. Okay, so for us swing traders or myself that was holding the trades throughout the weekend, we had some massive good trades, which I'm going to add somewhere around in this video for you guys to see. Massive nice bearishness to the downsides, and price and we were able to take advantage of the bearishness and also the bullishness, guys. So you actually need a strategy that is going to help you understand the trend. All right, you can trade the reversals, you can trade the trend, you can even take opportunity of whatever setup price gives to you. Okay, so we were able to do over 200 pips drop there, and for the downsides, and another 250 pips plus, or almost 300 pips to the upsides again, and another drop again that we are looking forward for the recent drop. So we have 130 pips, so we are looking for another 200 to 300 pips drop for the coming weeks. Okay, so this is only possible with the prophetic analyst strategy. Okay, so moving forward for GBP USD, this was a NFP for last week. We also predicted that into precision, which I'm going to add it around. So a lot of money was also being made in this process. And though I was a little skeptical about last week's NFP, or this month's NFP rather, but we sell through NFP with my analysis and my years of experience. So moving forward, so there's no gimmicks, no big deals here. I already had this was plotted during our analysis before NFP. So we are still looking for price to go all the way to the downsides like so. All right, but before then, let me take that one out. Okay, let's create a new area. So we'll be looking for price to break below this green bar, guys. This green bar is also the determinant, and price is quite funny for it to still close around these green bar zones, but I'm not worried because I believe and I hope price will definitely break through these areas. So we will be patient enough for price to break through this green bar, which is our areas of interest. Price should come back to the zones, and a pull and a drop to our 1.231 area. Then we can go all the way back to 100% retracement level, which is our 1.224 area. Okay, so what should you be doing? Do well to mark it out on your screen, your PC, or whatever device you are using to trade. So up next is the DXY. Invest head and shoulder to the upside. So this will be actually confirmed when price has broken out of this retest, and we will be looking for our first level target, which is at 109. Then we can go back to all the way to 112 to the upside. So I hope you can see how we predicted the DXY into precision. Remember, we spotted a very nice chart pattern right about here, and we wanted price to break out of this area, give us a push continuations to the upside. I was even hoping this to happen on NFP. Right, see that arrow there is even still there, but price even made that to happen even before NFP, for price to push price. This is why we had those gaps on Euro, USD, GDP, and the rest. Okay, and other pairs alike. So that's actually the reasons in which what happened on that price. So actually we had this massive pullback. So this played out into precision, just like we anticipated, and you guys can see how it played out. So moving forward for the coming weeks, where is our next level target? All right, so I'm still going to mark out a little minor zones like so. All right, I'm going to mark out the minor zones like so right there. So well, I'm going to take this one off. So if we have price breakout of here, retest, and the push continuations back to this first level of 108, then we can go back all the way to 109 to the upsides. Okay, then I'm still going to give you guys bearishness. Okay, bearishness would only be important that we look for bearishness when price breaks below the support here, a retest, and a push continuations to our 106. All right, so either which way price opens or price closes to either of these zones, we are definitely going to take advantage of them. So that's it for the DXY. Up next, the last but not the least, USD CHF. Same thing happened on the DXY. Like I told you guys, we had a very nice chart pattern right about there. So I told you guys, when once price actually opens, that we should, this is more like an A setup for us. You saw me placing that area and picking the line all the way there to the upsides. I said this is an A setup for us, that you can take that trade immediately market open. But I don't think most of you that were not swinging this trade with myself might have had that time or that chance to to take that trade right about there, and price or give us a massive push to the upsides and also pull back just at the same zones that we predicted price to get. And before we had that drop. If you doubt me or you think we are capping or you did not see how it played out, here is the video retest which we actually have right now. So this is more like an A setup right now. So even as price opens, all right, all you can do is long this. If your stops can go all the way below this weeks, okay, and you can target these zones of our 0.9 all the way to the upsides. Okay, so like I said, NFP, hopefully NFP is going to help us push price to the upside just like we wanted. So you can see how we predicted USD CHF into precision. This is actually the same area as I told you guys, immediately market open, or this is a go-to kind of setups, and this was also the same areas I used for our weekly market thumbnail. So that's why I said a lot of informations are always embedded in our thumbnail, guys. All right, my A kind of setups I'm looking for the coming weeks, okay, are always embedded in on my thumbnail, guys. So you can see how we predicted this into precision. That's massive splash to the upsides, immediately market open during my time. All right, so we smashed take profit there. So coming in for the new week, so where are our next level targets? All right, so I'm gonna extend it like so. All right, so price came back, price is back on these zones. All right, so anything that happens between these two zones, guys, I'm not interested. Okay, so what should we be doing? So I'm going to give you guys the bullishness and the bearish aspect. So price should break out of here, a retest and a push continuations back to our 0.919 area. Okay, there's also a certainty for price to come back to this level and a bullish continuations to the upsides, guys. Okay, but I would be only interested on the bearishness if price is able to play this higher time, this daily area of interest, a break the retest and a push continuations to the 0.897 area. Okay, so that's it for the bullishness and the bearishness of USD CHF. Please do want to mark out all of this on your screens or whatever device you are using to trade. So that will be it for this week, guys. Please, we are looking forward to get to 10,000 subscribers before the first quarter of this year or second quarter of this year. Then before the end of the year, we are looking forward to get to 20,000 subscribers, and that is only possible if you guys share our content. Always like, drop a comment on the comment section. Let's know how you feel or how well our weekly market forecast has been able to help you on your analysis, or more like drop some fire emojis. Let's see some fire emojis on the comment section, guys. So that'll be it for this week, guys. Always remember to plan your trades and trade your plan. See you guys in the inner circle, and cheers.